ladies, it's Emily here. I'm going to be doing a chemical peel for you today. Happy actually to show this to you because I figure why not dive right in and get to the very core of things. Obviously, what you eat, drink, and how much you sleep will have an awful lot to do with your beauty, but it's hard to be beautiful if your face is all scarred up. And I have scars. I have acne scars, which you can't see, but I have acne scars here and here, right here, and all along the crease here above my chin, below my lip, right there in that nook. And it's all acne scars from when I had cystic acne in high school. And let me tell you what, that was horrible. I hated it. I would touch my face and it was like, ow. Wearing the big towel on my head because I don't want my hair to get, peeled. TCA is not good for your hair. All right, so let me grab this. This is the product I'm going to be using. It's called TCA. It's a 35% solution. This is a medium depth peel. This is not for beginners. I recommend that only trained professionals use trichloroacetic acid, or TCA, because it's very intense. And folks who are not used to peels should not get a medium peel, ever. Your skin should always be trained into it by using really light, low peels until your body gets used to it. Come on, towel, cooperate. Here's the thing. You have to have certain materials with you when you're going to do a peel. Now, I'm not doing this peel for you so that you can do it on yourself. Okay, chemical peels should be left to people who understand the cellular structure of the skin, how the body reacts to chemistry, what to do in case of an emergency, all of these things, and to be able to recognize whether or not the face is suitable. The skin must be in suitable condition before going into a chemical peel. So please, unless you have gone through school and, studied this formally, please let someone else do your chemical peels. Now, there are certain materials you need, of course, acid being the number one. I'm using TCA. There is also glycolic acid, lactic acid, and salicylic acid, to mention a few. Salicylic acid is the most popular. It is also the best at fighting acne. But I'm using TCA, which is actually very close to salicylic acid in its behavior and in the sensation, what it leaves you feeling like while you're getting your hair done, or hair. Well, there are a lot of medical reasons why you would want to get a deep peel. This is not one of them. Acne scars is just an inconvenience, but it's also, if I go too long without a peel, I start breaking out in weird places, even though I'm taking excellent care of my skin. So this does help by removing a lot of the structures that can cause blockages. Now, second in the materials list, I'm going to use cold cream because it's petroleum based, okay? People will use Vaseline. And the reason why is because you want to make sure it doesn't get into your hair, okay, including your hairline, your eyebrows. Make sure it does not get in the eyes because it can blind you, and TCA will blind you, okay? Make sure it doesn't get into any of the broken pores. So if you have a pimple and you didn't intend to pop it, but you were washing your face and it broke open the day of your peel, well, you don't want to cancel your peel, right? So what you do is you tell them where it is, and they will put a glob of Vaseline, coconut oil, or something, probably not coconut oil, that's real thin, but something like cold cream or another type of moisture preventing balm on that spot, just to make sure that the acid doesn't get into any broken wounds. Also, before you get a peel, it's very important for you to understand that you are not to exfoliate your face with anything for 72 hours prior to the application of the product, and it's always a good idea to get tested for allergy resistance. I also have a bowl of ice water and a nice white rag here next to me. so that I can rinse this off, because the ice cold water is going to neutralize the acid, which should be a very quick process, and remove the excess acid from my skin post peel. And then it's also, because it's icy, it's really cold, it's going to be very soothing, because your skin is going to inflame a little bit. It's going to get really hot and rosy up, you know, like the surface of the skin. The blood is going to flush to the surface. And that's your body's defense mechanism. It's saying, hey, something is attacking the skin. So the blood's going to go up there and protect the rest of the body from the attack, right? Well, you know, even though we know what we're doing and we know it's not going to hurt the body, it is damaging your skin. Peels it off, and then you get all this wonderful, fresh, clean skin right underneath it. So, like I said, I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it if you've got the right face for it. But make sure you go in for a professional consultation and ask them if they think this is a good idea for you. Now, I have one. It's been 4 days. It's more than 72 hours since this one broke, but I'm not taking any chances, and this part of me doesn't really need to be peeled, so I'm going to put a little dollop of my petroleum-based cold cream right there on it. Let's see here. And I'm going to look for any other spots on my face that may be vulnerable. Of course, eyebrows. One of the reasons why you don't want to get the acid in your eyebrows is not necessarily because you may tweeze them, but because the hair will trap the acid in one spot, and then that will soak into the hair. It's not good. It burns like crazy and you can lose your eyebrows. So make sure that you glob these up with something to protect them, okay? And if your eyebrows need treatment, there are laser treatments for that. And now, since I'm all prepped and ready to go, and I have my extra virgin coconut oil here with me. Coconut oil is fantastic for your skin. If you've got a burn, you've got acne, I am going to have to shut this thing off, yo. Give me a minute. I don't know where I was, but anyway, this stuff is great for helping your skin to heal after you've been burned or anything like that. And I use this as a post-peel moisturizer because it's an oil, and it keeps the moisture locked into the skin underneath it, and it prevents the dry air. It's very arid here in Colorado. It prevents the dry air from sucking any moisture out of your face. So yeah, so you may use a moisturizer, and you're supposed to. You use your moisturizer, but then put some extra virgin coconut oil over the top of it. Ask your esthetician before you do that, though. Make sure that they approve of that, okay? Esthetician, your doctor, whomever is doing this chemical peel for you will know the best course of action. TCA. Man, this stuff has a great shelf life. This is old. This is like 3 years old. I've had this tiny little bottle for 3 years. That's how little I have to use of it. The stuff is fantastic. Now make sure you don't get any acid on your fingers, okay? And now I'm going to apply this as quickly as I possibly can. And you will notice something called frost. And you'll see. I'm applying it in the areas that need the most work. Oh, it's already stinging. Yes, it stings. Ooh-wee. Ooh. Ooh. Kind of looked like Boy George when I did that. Remember that? Okay. Ooh-wee. Ooh. Oh, medium peel time. Time to get rid of the acne scars. Right there. Man, this stuff is uncomfortable. If you must fan your face, you can. For those of you out there who are trained estheticians, the best acids to use are the ones that have no alcohol in the base, because alcohol makes it sting worse. Okay, I'm starting to frost. You see? Right here? Yeah? Right there? Okay, that is the acid killing those skin cells. I'm going to apply a little here. Okay. And a little here. It's best to do this with gloves, but I'm not worried about it because I've got my bowl of water right here. I'd only be hurting myself, yeah? But the rest of my pores are in fantastic condition, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. I'm going to slowly start moving toward my rag. And I told you this is quick, right? You wait for it to frost, then you wait another minute or two, maybe 30 seconds. And then you slowly blot it. Okay, don't use a dripping wet rag. Don't splash water on your face unless it's an emergency. But you rinse the rag, squeeze it out, blot. Rinse the rag, squeeze it out, blot. Okay? It's much easier in my bathroom, but I can't get the camera into my bathroom. It's too small. Oh, that feels so good. Oh, neutralizing it feels so good. It's so nice and cold. Oh, oh, ice water feels so good. And I'm just going to keep neutralizing this for a while, and then once I'm certain that all of the acid is off of my face, I'm going to go rinse with copious amounts of ice cold water. Oh wow, look at that. I have these great big white spots on my face. Glamorous, yes? The things we'll do for beauty, I tell you. But you know, the thing is, I wouldn't have to do this if I had known what I know now back when I was in high school. If I had known that all I had to do was use sulfur soap and stay away from caffeine, I would never have had the problems that I had. I couldn't find a boyfriend to save my life in high school because my face was so messed up. I've got scars because of it. It was everything I could do to get the pores out, and I wasn't doing it right. I didn't know how to lance things. I didn't know how to use, they didn't have extractors the way they do now. Back in 1995, when I don't personally recommend Accutane. I don't like the stuff, but there are some people that it works wonders for. So, you know, weigh your choices carefully, get second opinions, and make sure you are fully educated before you ever go through with any kind of a chemical or medical treatment on your skin. All right, wishing you good skin health, and oh, I have got to go do something about my hair, girl. Bye. So, how do you like my shiny coconut oil half clown face look? Hello, ladies. Greetings. It's pretty obvious that I'm wearing a hat because I'm having a bad hair day. I'm not wearing a whole lot of makeup because of my chemical peel. And that's actually a good thing because I want you to see day 3. Okay, so this is calendar day 3, but this is less than 48 hours out. Okay, so I would technically be on day 2 as far as the 24-hour cycle is concerned. So you're looking at up to 48 hours, you will have what's called scabbing going on, okay? And what this is where, you know, you've applied it and the dead skin is drying out, and there are blood cells that come to the surface when you do this. There will be, you know, microscopic portions of them, of blood cells, that will come up and kind of form a scab over the wound. Okay, and that's what this is. When you're applying a chemical to your face, it's it's a wound. So the skin here is really dry. Kind of feels like if you take really thin white glue, okay, thin white school glue, and you smear it over your face and you let it dry and then you start making faces, you know, that's kind of what it feels like. And of course, right over the top of that, I have my SPF. I've got an SPF 40 for the face, specifically for the face. And like if I have to leave the house, which I did, I had to go over to the Walmart. I put I'll just pack it on. Yes. Kill me. Wait till you see me tomorrow. All right, ladies. Yeah, I'm sure you don't want to look at the girls. Hello, ladies. Emily here. I'm in a good mood this morning. I got a good amount of sleep last night, which you must have to be gorgeous, you know, in order to be absolutely gorgamous, as I totally am right now. Gracious. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my hair pulled back. I'm going to demonstrate to you how I moisturize. Well, the oil isn't moisture. Let's just straighten that out right now. This is something I've wanted to tell people for so long. Oil is not moisture. So if anybody says coconut oil is moisturizing or Vaseline is moisturizing, they're not correct, okay? It's not. It's nothing against you, but water is moisture and oil is oil, but it's also protecting. So over the period of time that you use it, as it protects you from moisture loss, its effect over the long run can be healing and moisturizing. But so I will demonstrate that to you in a moment. I'm going to use a facial moisturizer and two kinds of oils after I'm done cleansing my face. Now, you still need to cleanse your face when you've had a chemical peel, but it's very important that you don't use something that has a detergent in it or a soap, even a wonderful handmade soap like the stuff that I make, okay? So I'll check back with you in a minute. I just washed my skin with this stuff. This is Noxzema Classic Clean Original Deep Cleansing Cream. Now I know I can use this. I've used it before and my skin is far from sensitive. My eyes, however, forget about it, right? So you can certainly use the Noxzema cream if you'd like to. Most estheticians and, you know, most people, skincare experts, will recommend something for you, especially if you just had a chemical peel. For those of you who just had a chemical peel, you may want to think twice. I know I can use it, okay? But I'm not necessarily recommending it to you. Talk to your dermatologist before you use anything on your face during this entire process, okay? Before, during, and after the peel. Once you've completely recovered, you can do whatever you want, pretty much, right? Okay, so let me show you a few of the products I've got here. Now, can all be purchased over the counter. You do not have to have a, you know, a dermatologist or, you know, a salon visit or anything like that. This is all drugstore, okay? Now, the first thing here, the light is absolutely awful in this spot. Okay, this is the Studio 35 Beauty brand. This is the Walgreens brand, generic, compared to Cetaphil Daily Moisturizer. Okay, so this is like the Cetaphil Daily Moisturizer. It has an SPF 15 broad spectrum SPF 15 sunscreen in it. It's a very lightweight, non-comedogenic moisturizer. Okay, moisturizer. It does contain an oil base, but it's a suspension, so it also has a lot of water in it. And water, glycerin, things like that, those are all water-based. That is moisturizing. That's very good for this condition, okay? So what I'm dealing with right now, oh, yep, I'm peeling. right here. Oh, crap, you can't see it. Well, shucks. Well, even though you can't see my peeling, which is too bad, you'll probably be able to see it here pretty soon. I'm usually going to use this because if I have to go outside to water the plants or something like that, I don't have to freak out about not having any sunscreen on my face. Now, another lower layer moisturizing product, but this isn't necessarily as moisturizing as it is protecting. This is the brand of, let me move it around, get it close to you. That is the zinc oxide that I use as a sunblock on my face during my peels. I also use it when I'm going to go out and ride my bike. Okay, I have a mountain bike and I like to go out and go crazy. Okay, I'm hog wild like that, y'all. Another cleanser that you may use, this one I've had for a long time. This is the Cetaphil. This is the Gentle Skin Cleanser. It's in all skin types. It's a universal cleanser. There are no detergents in this. And it is, generally speaking, is very water-based. It's really gentle stuff. I do recommend this for people who have suffered burns. I personally recommend it for anybody who has allergies, eczema, and psoriasis. Acne-prone people need a slightly stronger cleanser, so I wouldn't necessarily use this religiously, but it is great for when you're healing from something like this, like a chemical peel. Now, let's talk about protectants. Okay, as a soap maker, I have access to a lot of really interesting ingredients. Okay, so I have access to like shea butter and mango butter, coconut oil, cocoa butter, you name it, okay? Shea butter is fabulous stuff. It's very good for your skin, soaks right in. It's made in Africa from a tree nut, okay? So those of you who have tree nut allergies may want to consider something else. Shea butter is wonderful. Not only does it have a lot of vitamin E in it, but it also contains certain antimicrobial properties, so it has a really long shelf life. You're not going to need to use any preservatives with it. If you use it without fragrance, you use it without colorants, things like that, you can use it pretty much universally. You can get it in your hair if you're ebony. Okay, like you can use it as a conditioning treatment once a week for those of us who, who live in really arid climates and you want to put it in your hair and add some oil to the core of your hair. You just put it in and leave it in all day, and then shampoo at the end of the day with something that isn't drying. Okay, this is my body butter. I make this. Oh, it smells like cocoa butter. Okay, so it's cocoa butter, coconut oil, argan oil, and shea butter, mango butter, and there's one more. Couldn't tell you what it is. Oh, vitamin E oil. I add vitamin E oil just to boost it, even though, there's plenty in the shea butter. Now this I had frozen for a year, I think, just about a year. I went through the other one to right about there, and then I lost it. This is the unscented one. This is the scented one, okay? So it's the same stuff. I whip the body butter in the blender. Oh, that smells so good. I added a cream cheese frosting fragrance oil to it. I cannot use this on this, okay? But I can use it anywhere else as long as I don't have any cuts or abrasions. It's not good for your skin to use a fragrance oil on a wound, and it doesn't matter if it's razor burn, it doesn't matter what it is, okay? So don't use fragrance products on open sores. Castor oil, okay? Castor oil you can buy for, I think these are $3 or $4 over at the Walmart. Okay, but not necessarily at Walmart. You can get it at Safeway. It would be over next to, it's a laxative, ladies and gents. People used to use castor oil as a form of punishment. I'm not kidding. They would make their kids take a spoonful of castor oil if they misbehaved. And it's not bad for you or anything like that, but it will give you loose bowels if you over ingest it. But you know, a lot of companies use castor oil, and you can tell by the smell which ones do it. A lot of companies, like cosmetic companies and stuff like that, use castor oil in their lipsticks, and it is perfectly wonderful for that, actually. It's great for you. It takes a certain amount before it becomes a laxative, but it is very thick, gloopy, wonderful stuff. Okay, this is so great as a protectant. But like all oils, they enhance the sun's rays. So don't use castor oil or coconut oil or shea butter if you're going to be going out in the sun, okay? There's no water in Colorado. Something wrong with that. It's just not right. Coconut oil, all right? You can get extra virgin coconut oil organic. It's almost always 100% organic, okay? The stuff you're looking for is the stuff that doesn't come out of the jar at room temperature. Okay, it must be solid and white at room temperature. Otherwise, it's a caprylic triglyceride, which is a form of coconut oil that has been stripped of its solidifying properties. There are certain things that they do to it that makes it liquid at room temperature. It will be crystal clear on the counter. Don't eat it. Don't eat triglycerides. Okay? Don't eat this and this. These are your protectants, okay? So what you want to do is you want to lay down a layer of moisturizer, add a little sunblock, and then cover it with some castor oil or coconut oil or a combination of both. Now, sometimes what I like to do is I like to mix a little bit, like a teaspoon can be far too much for your face. So use half a teaspoon of coconut oil and 1 pump of regular moisturizer with an SPF. Mix those together in your hand and then pat that onto your affected area. It looks like I went skiing, doesn't it? I went skiing and the wind, you know, burned my face. Ew. I'm smooth. I'm smooth. And this is what it looks like when it's all done, okay? So you see, there you have it. All right, now you just start patting that on very lightly, okay? And that will slowly release the moisture into your skin and prevent it from evaporating off of your skin into the arid air. Now this is good for the rest of your face as well. So if you did not get a whole face chemical peel like I did, I only did my cheeks, okay? Get that right there in the itchy spot. Oh yeah. Oh, it's starting to peel, so I know I'm going to be scratching all day if I'm not careful. Don't scratch. Okay, and apply it down onto your neck, and then if you have any left over, you can massage that on your knees, your elbows, your heels, or any other dry calloused areas. And I'm going to take my thumb, and that is enough castor oil for this particular application. Just spread it on both cheeks. I don't want to put it over my whole face. Now, castor oil is wonderful because for most people, if you accidentally get it into your eyes, it'll be okay. Okay, but always read the directions on the products you go to use. If they tell you not to get it in your eyes, or if you do, to get it right out, that's what you do, okay? And castor oil is also very good for these dry spots. So I'm set for a few hours. In a few hours time, I'm going to have to go and take a soft cloth and wipe that across my face and then reapply moisturizer and reapply the castor oil. We'll check in with you tomorrow, ladies. Okay. Good morning, ladies. Today, my skin actually looks a lot better. I got wet quite a few times yesterday. I had to keep getting in the shower because I was getting my hair done, right? And it softened the skin up, and quite a lot of the dead scale came right off. And you can see I've got some left there and some here. But for the most part, it's mostly gone. We are well past 72 hours. We're working on day 5, actually, and I have to go to the doctor today, and it'll be interesting to see what she says. Like, what happened to your face, Em? You know? So, Well, there you go. And I think by now you can understand what the big deal is about this because, you know, as you can see, that nice fresh skin is coming out, and I have just a little bit of flakiness and stuff like that left over, and this skin is going to peel again. But you've got the point. It's actually very beneficial. It can help, but just don't do it too often. If you overdo it, you can actually cause damage. Okay, so take good care of your skin while you're getting a chemical peel, and good luck with it. All right. Well, God bless and be gorgeous.